can go Hunter. If Hunter kills enemy, you will go Hunter again, and you will go Hunter again. This is so insane, guys. Hunter again, and you move and blast everything on your pass. SpiritBorn. All around the Noun 2 jungle. Today I'm gonna show you one of the best leveling build with the SpiritBorn, the Quill Volley. I've tested a lot this build on the early access, and now Vessel of Hatred is here and you will be ready to crush everything. Let's get it started! Hi guys, Sagittarian here. So, this is one of the best build leveling ever of the SpiritBorn. There is two or three builds that they are really powerful, and I will present you this one. This build is really mobile. It deals so much damage. Maybe it's a bit expensive in Vigor, but it will be okay. It's really smooth to play. It's really fun. It's really nice. There is so much synergies. Crit scaling with block, with dodge, with movement speeds. There is so much fucking synergies. This is really insane. Let's go, guys. So you got all my build on Diablo 4 GG here. You can check Sagittarian's build. I will introduce myself a little bit before. All my build here. So you got on Diablo 4 GG's, all my build leveling. I did a French video here for this one. This is really insane. My temporary armor version and my temporary counterattack is really insane, but I will present you the new one that I like really much also. It's the Quill's Volley. So let me introduce myself a little bit. I played Diablo 4 in the release and I made top 10 world with different class each season. The season 1 top 6 world with my Barb on Abattoir of Zir. Season 2 and 3 top 10 world and a winner of Leaderboard Legend contest with my Sorcerer. And season 5 I was top 7 rogue with my pit clear at level 154. So I have good experience to tell you of what is an S tier build, and this one is an S tier leveling build. Let's go. There is French version for my French peeps here, but today guys this one is for everyone, for all the down to SpiritBorn man. So you got gear and skill here. You got skill tree, you got Paragon. With the skill tree you got the leveling pass here, but I think I prefer to start with Rock Splitter over than Trash. I will explain you why. Paragon, Mercenaries. You got Mercenaries here. You got all the notes in English, my friend. All the notes in English, so you can understand everything. And you got the showcase of the build here. Look at this one. SpiritBorn STL leveling here. 7k here in one day. Just a banger of this build that I presented you. And so as I said, all the notes here, aspect, gameplay, tips, you will crush your leveling experience. Okay, so we start with the build. I will explain the action bar skills, all the skills on the action bar. So here we got Scourge. Scourge is for really have good vigor regeneration. 60 of maximum vigor over 6 seconds is really strong because Quill Volley is a bit expensive. Armor Hide is really powerful because you are unstoppable. When you are unstoppable, you will deal more damage with unrestrained power, 12x more DPS. Here, you gain 100% block chance for 3 seconds, and when you have so much block, you deal so much damage with the redirected force because you have a great scaling, critical damage scaling of your blade chance. Can go over 100% critical stake damage equal of your block chance. And when you're blocking this bonus, double critical strike damage for this second. This is really insane. This synergy. Ravager is for increase vigor regeneration by 30%, so it will fit very well with Scourge, and you will deal extra hit and extra damage. The Hunter is one of the best ultimate that you can have because you can go over 4+ stacks of ferocities. Ferocity stack give you really much damage. I will explain ferocity stacks and decision stacks, but that gives you more ferocity stacks, so more DPS. The ultimate can reset, 40% chance to instantly reset as a cooldown, so it's really strong. Here you got Quill Volley. Quill Volley deal extremely insane damage. It gives you the possibility of making targets vulnerable for 3 seconds if you hit with 3 feathers. But with the aspect, that is double dip damage. You deal damage, it's come back, and you deal damage also with rebounding aspect. Explode at their apex and return to where they were cast, both dealing 47 of their normal damage. Okay, so here I play with Rock Splitter. Why I play with Rock Splitter? Because I prefer a Rock Splitter over Trash, because Rock Splitter increases your block chains by 15% of 5 seconds. Look my critical strike damage. I am 109. Look my critical strike damage when I use Rock Splitter. Here now 130. So the scaling with the block chains and critical damage is so insane. So you will deal more damage if you use Rock Splitter over than Ravager. This is the first thing. Rock Splitter gives you block chains, gives you vigor when you block, and it gives you resolve stack. So what is resolve stack now and ferocity stack? A resolve stack, when you use Rock Splitter, here, I got resolve stack. It's a damage reduction increased by 20% while active. So I got 20% plus damage reduction. When you take hits, direct damage consume a stack. So when you fall to 0 stacks, you lose the resolve stack. So resolve stack is a great source of defensive protection. And that another insane synergy is with aspect of interdiction. You gain plus 15 block chains per resolve stack. So just with the aspect and a Rock Splitter, just with that, you gain 50 block chains x8. Just this gives you 120% plus block chance and more critical strike damage. This is so fucking powerful. So you'll understand that block chance and critical strike damage are two stats that fits so fucking well together. And now I will explain you other juicy passive that I will take to reverse a bit this cheat build. Okay, so I explained you just before all my skill on the action bar and why I will take this. So here we got sharp Rock Splitter, resolve a hit, advantages Quill Volley, 3 additional feathers, so much more damage. Ravager here for hold for vigor, score just really for vigor. You get a crowd control, but it can save you if you are in bad situation. The Hunter here. So now the passives. As this build is expensive, we need vigorous. Casting core skill increase old vigor generation by 15%. Because later we will take ballast exertion and core skill will cost more vigor, but deal also 15 increased damage. Velocity, when we are moving, we generate vigor. Focal point here, more block damage reduction with quarterstaff, but Apex give us 9 increase vulnerable damage. X. Dodge is really important also, because when we dodge with the Spirit of the Eagle, we gives vulnerability to all targets. So it's a really good vulnerability source generation. Dodge is really important, and when we dodge, we gain also 15 critical strike chance. So it's really important because we are loving crit in this build. Unrained strength power, so it's difficult for my French. It's difficult for French to tell this in English, but we deal 12x increased damage when we are unstoppable, and we will be unstoppable with armored hide, as explained you before. I take 1 point here, poison guard, because we gain free 10% of block chance. Here, just 5 vigor when we cast a defensive skill, and we will add damage reduction per stack of results with perseverance, so better tankiness here. Brilliance, really important, because your build is scaling very well with your movement speed. And as we are talking about movement speed, You will move faster just running you over than with your mount. My movement speed here is 200%. 200% or 180%. When you are in your mount, you got 150%. So the movement speed is really brutal here, as you can see, because with my movement speed, I deal 18% more damage. You gain 9% damage of your movement speed. So really good scaling also. Acceleration, 3 additional evade charge. Evade charge is really important because you will make all the enemies vulnerable, and after you evade, your next eagle skill deals 30 more damage. You evade, you make enemies vulnerable, and you will deal more damage here. We take potent 3 point here because we will do so much damage with ferocity skills. And what is a stack of ferocity? Stacks of ferocity give you 5% attack speed increase, stack up to 8 times, so 40 attack speed. But you will gain more with Hunter. Here, 12 stack. And you will gain more also with the aspect of duelist because it gives you plus 5 stacks of ferocity. So you can go with ferocity. So you can have with ferocity 17 stacks multiplied by 4%. So it gives you 68 attack speed. Stacks of ferocity, 68 attack speed. Really insane to have stacks of ferocity. Then this is why we take potent, because hitting enemy with Jaguar skills gives us 0.3% X up to 30% more damage on enemies hitting by our Jaguar skills. So really good. You can choose to add maybe some point here, Furnace, to gain a bit critical strike damage. This is an interesting one, okay. And after, we have some juicy passives here. Resolution. Casting an ultimate skill grants 5x increased damage to elites for 3 seconds. Double this bonus if you are only fighting one enemy. So this is really interesting for the mono and multi-target. So we will put 3 points here. But as you can see, I am only level 52. Instance give you heal when we cast ultimate skill, more vigor when we cast ultimate skill. We are also unstoppable, just 1 point here to save us in a bad situation. The Hunter gives you unstoppable. This one is really interesting. Any enemy you kill with an ultimate skill, his active grants you a stack of supremacy. So each increase your damage by 1% up to 10%. So you can have 10% more damage. And when your ultimate skill, you gain at least 5 stacks of supremacy, but you begin to lose 1 stack every second. So good source of damage here. You can put 3 points here, as I did in the planner, and 2 points here on intricacy. Just for explain this one, it's an interesting one because it resets your potency, defensive, or focus skill, and you can cast it for free in the next 5 seconds. So if you really want to have a good source of vigor, I low on vigor. So I cast Scourge. Vigor is up. I can cast again. Then I will do my skill here, ultimate skill, and I ask Scourge for free. And I have also Scourge reset, so you can deal more damage, more Quill Volley with your reset of your Scourge. You can also reset your Armored Hide. It's as you prefer. When you have the Hunter available, you can cast Armored Hide the latest. When we'll use Hunter, Armored Hide will reset 2 stacks for free, and you will gain more uptime of block chance, more uptime of critical strike damage scaling, and more DPS. So this is a situation. No vigor, Scourge for more vigor. I will cast Ravager for extra hit and vigor. I will cast Armor Hide, more critical strike damage and block. I will cast Hunter, and I have 2 Armor Hide after, so I will cast more damage and more. You can see really great damage here. And finally, the ultimate passive one, key passive, Adaptive Stance. 30% movement speed with Eagle, more attack speed with Jaguar. We are using all different stance here. When you are fighting, it's difficult to choose one over another, but if you finish your fight and you want to move, just cast a Quill Volley and you will gain a 30% of speed and you can go away. Or if you need just more life when you are finished, you can do you can cast your Centipede and you will regen your life. So it's up to you. And really good thing here, it increases core stats, and dexterity is our core stats, so it's really important to improve by 50% our core stats here. And see dexterity, so it will deal more damage. Okay, that's all for the build. Now we will see the variation. This is the skill variation. So as I said, you can swap your basic skill Rock Splitter or Trash, but I have a personal preference for Rock Splitter with critical strike damage scaling. You can play with Trash, and you take Trash as a generator of a stack of ferocity. Then you will swap Spirit and you will play with Gorilla, because Gorilla makes you unstoppable when you have at least 5 stack of resolve, so much damage. If you play with Trash, you take Gorilla and you will gain +2 maximum resolve stacks. And other variant, you can swap defensive skill, you can take for an extra damage Furnace here. You can remove some passive skill you don't want to get another. It's a personal preference, guys. So we'll talk about now Spirit Room. So at level 15 you can choose one spirit. The first spirit is the most important because it gives you more bonus, and at level 30 you will choose another spirit. The first spirit, we take Eagle, more movement speed with Storm Feathers. When we evade, we deal damage and we make enemies target vulnerable for 5 seconds. All skills are also Eagle skills. So all skills are the brilliant scaling of our movement speed, and all of our skill deals more damage after an evade. So great spirit here. And after, as I said, if you play with Rock Splitter, we need the Jaguar for gain 1 stack of ferocity whenever we kill an enemy or damage a boss. It's a sort of stack of ferocity generator, so we need Jaguar here, and we will gain an extra stack of ferocity. So it's possible to go to 18 stack of ferocity, insane damage, insane attack speed bonus. So Rock Splitter, you play with Jaguar. If you play with Trash, you play with Gorilla. You got all information here, my friend. Now the weapon. The weapon, we focus max DPS because it's a leveling guide, level 1 to 60. But if you have choice, you need to take Quarterstaff, because Quarterstaff gives you block chance. You can see 40 block chance, so more block chance, more damage. So Quarterstaff here is the way to go. And now we will talk about gems and runes. So gems, it's really simple. Gems, we will use Emerald on our weapon because it gives you more critical strike damage, so better scaling. You can also use more vulnerable damage with Sapphire. On armor, we will use Diamond. I think all stats is a really good stat for the leveling. 50 all stat, 50 all stat. Can use for more damage Emerald because it gives you dexterity. Now Ruby gives you strength. It will not give you life anymore, so it's not interesting to put Ruby in armor. So rune, I did a video to explain you how runes work, but you can use Sirga and Semvex here on chest and pants, for example, plus 30% offering when we cast an unchallenging 3 times in a row. So with Rock Splitter, that gives you offering, and we will gain more critical strike chance for 5 seconds. Or you can use also Semga. When I evade, I will gain more critical strength chance. When I evade, I gain stacks. Here, I active my rune and I can go up to 20% critical strike chance. So we got a lot critical strength chance between our runes, and we will do so much damage. I don't know for the second one, you can play so Sirga or Semga, but you can also play Semvex, but it costs 1000 offering. It's really expensive, but it gives you 3 ranks to all skill. It's sort of Chaco. You activate this one. So here it's a personal preference. You can take what you want. SpiritBorn Vortex, you can take what you want. It's really a personal preference. It's a leveling anyway. We'll talk about Mercenaries. So To discuss about Mercenaries, I will go to the layer. Mercenaries is also a personal preference. There is three interesting Mercenaries, one to hire. The first one is Raya because it's an excellent defensive mercenary. It gives you so much benefit. 15 resistance all elements is redirecting 15% of the damage for 5 seconds with when you are in Bastion. You will gain unstoppable, so you will gain more damage with passive. And you will gain inspiration. Enemies affected by Raya's Grand Slam, the Grand Slam here, they take 15 more damage. And when you are affected by Bastion, you deal 55x more damage. So plus 40x damage with Raya. Great one. I chose Halkin in reinforcement because he has a good skill. Wave of Flame deals knocking back enemy, and this is destroy all missiles and deals a really good amount of damage. You can hire Halkin. If you hire Halkin, you can take Flame Surge because it gives you 15 more critical strength damage. Really good. And as we play a lot with our Hunter, it fits well with Waves of Flame because it deals so much damage, and when you cast an ultimate skill, a Wave of Flame cooldown reset, so it's really interesting. You can also choose Subo and take this build. Wire Trap, here you can choose more movement speed with ready at end, so good scaling with our passive Brilliance. He casts Cover Fire, and Cover Fire slows enemy. And enemies slowed by Cover Fire, you will deal 25 increased critical strike damage to enemies. It's by Subo's Cover Fire. So this is, I think, Raya is really good. Halkin also, you can choose, you can play with Subo. It's a personal preference, as I said. You can take Halkin for reinforcement or even Subo for reinforcement. I really like these three mercenaries, Raya, Halkin, and Subo. Now, best in slot stats. Which stats we need? Dexterity is our main stat, so it's a multiplicative one. All the multiplicatives here: dexterity, crit chance, critical strike, damage. It's insane because it fits with our block chance. It's really good. With the temper, you can take tracker or laceration. Hunter or laceration is launched to time. I didn't test yet, but I think it's insane to put plus 20% rock splitter block chance bonus. If this tempers gives you plus 20% of block chance bonus, and if it's stacked each other on helm, chest, pants, it will be so insane in terms of tankiness and in terms of damage. You can opt if you have a damage or vulnerable damage. It's not multiplicative, but it's a good additive ones. Defense, armor, max life, basic. Other important stats that you can have on your gear, it's a cooldown reduction. Reduction in resource cost, vigor per second, lucky resource, vulnerability. All these stats are good. Now we are talking about stuff, best in slot stuff. You got all the information here. But in the first tab, Gears and Skill, you got the three most important ones. So cooldown reduction, max life armor, helm, chest, armor, max life. Ranks to armored hide is really good. Critical strike damage, ranks to Quill Volley on gloves. Pants, dodge, maximum life armor, boots. You can choose what you want. I don't think it is necessary to have more movement speed because it will cap at 200%, but more charge or attack reduce evade charge. Movement speed, dodge, ranks to Ravager. You can choose movement speed here, or maybe cooldown evade reduction, or lucky. What you want is a free here too. Amulet, movement speed, ranks to Furnace, ranks to Patent. You can choose some Joycey passive DPS on your amulet. Endurance trained, acceleration, brilliance, potent. All is good if you have the chance to have it. You can also choose for dexterity, you can take Apex, you can take Brilliance, you can take crit chance, you can take movement speed. There is so many good things to have on Amulet. I like movement speed for leveling it too. And rig, you can take critical strike chance, critical strike damage, or attack speed, critical strike damage. You can even take dexterity. And our quarterstaff, dexterity damage, critical strike damage. Or maybe vulnerable damage. On quarterstaff, dexterity vulnerable damage. Let's talk about the aspect, guys. It's really hard to find. If you start with the campaign, it will be hard to find the aspect because you can only have the mobilities aspect in dungeon, haste and momentum. You can maybe have disobedience. Might aspect also is available in dungeon. The main offensive aspect, you have to be a lucky guy to drop it. We start with defensive aspect. So the defensive aspect, guys, the first one I didn't have yet is interdiction. More chance blank per result stack, more DPS. It's really strong. Aspect of might, when you cast a basic skill, it gives you plus 20% of damage reduction, really strong. And that's all for the defensive one. Now we'll talk about the utility, duelist, because duelist gives you maximum ferocity, so much more DPS, more attack speed, really good. We will use for mobility aspect of haste, because aspect of haste gives you more movement speed when we move. If you have the max bonus on your aspect, it's up to 90% movement speed when you are moving. So really good. But in DPS, if you prefer, you can also have aspect of momentum. You can prefer aspect of momentum because when you evade your next core skill, dash to your target and you deal plus 35 damage. So if you cast an evade, you will deal even more damage with your skill, and it fits well with acceleration. So 30% plus 35%. After an evade with momentum, you will deal plus 65 more damage. It's a really good aspect also. Now, the offensive aspect, the most important is the rebounding, because when you cast a Quill Volley, it comes back and deals same amount of damage and it explodes at their apex. So really good DPS here. You can put here in your weapon if you can. And the second one, really interesting, is the redirected force. You need to have it to scale all your crit chance of your block chains. So crit chance and block chance will be very important with the redirected force. So we put this one on the amulet, or you can even put this one on the weapon to benefit of 100% bonus. Some aspects that I don't have yet: Plains Power, lucky it up to 25 chance to create a mystic circle for 10 seconds, but when you are in a mystic circle, you have maximum stacks ferocity. As we said, we gain 18 possible stacks of ferocity, and you will gain 7% damage per stack. It's really insane, but I didn't test yet. This aspect provides you just 126 more damage. It's really insane. You have an option to put even here on weapon if you don't add the other, or you can put on the amulet. And the Ruthless aspect gives you more critical strength chance when your enemy are losing their life. 10% for each 10% of their missing life. So it provides you great amount of critical chance. And critical strike damage are the life on the build. That's all for the aspect, guys. Now, tempering and masterworking. Masterworking, it's for the endgame. You are not doing pit at the level 1 to 60 normally. So tempering, as I said, rock splitter, block chains, really good. All critical strength chains damage, really good if you have enough material to temper your gear. For the weapon, the most important is chance for Quill Volley projectile to cast twice. Critical straight damage. We can take also Hunter cooldown reduction, a really interesting one here. That's all for the tempering, guys. Masterworking, I will not talk about. Elixir. For the elixir, we take elixir for XP, and we'll take elixir of precision, more critical strike damage, more critical strike chance. This is the best one. You can take also maximum life or attack speed if you want, but the best is elixir of precision. And finally, tips and gameplay, but I will show you the build and explain you how it's works. So it's very mobile, powerful build. Expensive, especially at the beginning, but it will be okay. We will go for the vigor regen points quickly. This build scale on crit enormously with additional bonus depending on blocking, movement speed, dodge, etc. There is so much scaling on this build, and I never seen a class with so much scaling. It really needs a nerf, so yeah, Scale crit enormously. Try to proc Ravager plus Scourge at the same time for maximum vigor regen. The ultimate skill can reset Scourge for regen armored. Dodge to make targets vulnerable and happy blasting, guys. I will show you this incel build. Just we will go to Domain Tunnel. You will have a chance to see how this is an infernal build. So, as I said, look, my movement speed here on my mount. 155 movement speed bonus. But now, here, look my movement speed bonus, 200%. So I move even faster with myself other than my mount. This is the first thing is absurd. This class is really a sort of god, actually. So the gameplay is pretty simple. Scourge and Ravager for vigor regeneration, Ravager for extra hit, and Jaguar skill proc. You can go Hunter. If Hunter kills enemy, you will go Hunter again, and you will go Hunter again. This is so insane, guys. Hunter again, and you move and blast everything on your pass. The Quill Volley deals so much damage with the aspect, but it's really a good build, even if you don't have all the aspects. It's really powerful and insanely strong. So we just have already finished the first part of the dungeons. It's so stupid and so absurd as the build is really strong, guys. Okay, guys, this is all that I can tell you about this insane build, S tier leveling build. SpiritBorn is really insane. We will see that. I will make more builds on SpiritBorn, more endgame and deep dive on the pit builds to be top 10 world again with another class, but this time with SpiritBorn, guys. I hope you really like this guide and my work. You can give me a thumbs up on my video and drop a commentary down below. I will answer to all commentary. I really like to share and discuss with my community. You can also follow me on my Twitch and come and say hi. It was Sagittarian. Thanks for following me, and we'll meet very quickly in Sanctuary.